Welcome, guys. Welcome to a new series, new episode. And this is something we're doing different. So, we're going to be talking about Benjamin's experience with the program, how he's gone through it. And really, just before beginning, Benjamin, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit? Where
Yeah,
you're from, your full
yeah,
name?
yeah. Sure. My name is Ben Wyeth, and I'm from New York City, and I'm a life coach, and yeah, actually, yeah, I spent a lot of time in LA. Just got back to New York, and so yeah, and I saw Quasi's YouTube videos, and I was like interested in the message caught me, shifting, identity shifting. I was like, what's up with this? And yeah, so.
Cool, man. Yeah, so, before beginning the program, you were in a transitory period in your life, right? Where you just moved and you wanted to start a completely new chapter. Yeah, so I just wanted to ask you, like, before you started the program, what was life like?
Yeah, well, I was like putting together my life coaching business, and like had clients, but it wasn't consistent enough, it wasn't consistent, it wasn't enough to really be making like a living, and like paying rent and all that kind of stuff. So, and that was, yeah, I really wanted to transition into making, like a real career out of life coaching. And also I had another dream of just like combining music and life coaching in some sort of a way. And that was sort of like a distant calling, but somehow
Mm,
letting these things start to come together.
awesome, awesome. So, yeah, basically, what prompted you to get started with the program?
It was seeing the YouTube videos and just this idea of becoming, your best self, and just sort of feeling. I wanted to get involved in some form of like next level self development thing.
Mhm.
And then I was just captured by the videos and the content, and then the concept of idea of entering into like a community of people going through it, and working with you one on one, and then those group settings just seemed like the right move.
Mm-hmm. So, to be honest with you, like right before we even began, I thought you were in a really good place yourself. You seem very chilled out, very calm. So, what was the biggest thing that pulled you into the program? Like working on what was it? Because if I remember clearly, it was you getting clarity around your coaching business, you getting, attracting the right kinds of clients, you actually becoming that version of yourself that is worthy of attracting the kind of clients you actually want to work with, but also getting clarity around where you want to take this business, the music, and generally yourself. So,
Yeah.
would you elaborate on that?
Yeah, totally. I think it was just that level of clarity and that ability to just sort of trust yourself, get that internal state more, just more, yeah, more secure, more flow, and build that foundation. Because I could tell, it's just like there was still like, I have all these ideas, and I've even been like reading personal development, spirituality for so
Hmm.
long. So part of me was like, well, why do this? But then it's like, just this call to really consolidate, supercharge, and like just focus that energy, into that unique, next level picture that of what I was going towards. And I could tell that it was still a little bit too unfocused, a little too fuzzy,
Hmm.
So it was just this like call to just like take it to the next level of clarity, and really, consolidation.
Awesome, man. So, how long has it been since you've been in the program? 8 weeks, 2 months
Yeah,
now?
yeah, exactly.
Around
Yeah.
2 months.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so what was life like during the program as you were going through the modules, as you're even in your reflection of reality? How did things evolve?
Um, yeah, it was just really cool to get that. It's just like going deeper into that exploration of who you want to become, why you want to become that person, and then there was just like this inner strength starts to come up, and this the inner resources start to build up. Like you can go into more, circumstances that would make you have made me more, more afraid in the past, and consistently do things that would trigger my old fears. Just move into fears with more resources,
Hmm.
essentially. You know what I mean? And just build the momentum of that part of yourself that can just like shake off, like negative talk and negative
Hmm.
stuff.
Hmm.
Boom, boom, and just start speaking.
What are some examples of the fears that you've overcome? I'm really interested to know that.
I would say, okay, like making coaching requests to people, just like boom, just like getting in the habit of just like reaching out to people all the time and like literally not caring what they're going to say, like that much.
Pitching your services, right?
Yeah, just like to like all sorts of different types of people. So that was one big thing. Just and then the other one was also like I'm making videos, like making my own content, like YouTube videos of myself talking about things that I'm interested in and believe in and want to get across. Just getting into motion with that more and more and more powerfully. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, like just yesterday, I was just like, even like I could get in a bad state of mind for a moment, and it's just like, boom, just like switch it off and just
nice.
So like those things that could take someone like 3 days before they're like, oh, maybe not. It's like, that's how it used to be, but it's just much more like, nah, I'll do this right now. Even though, so it's just that fluidity and momentum is just like building up, and that.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
Awesome. So I wonder if this is going to be split screen or I'm not sure. Yeah, so you were talking about fluidity and momentum. So what I wanted to ask you was, like, what was the biggest mindset shift that you got from the program that helped you, overcome that fear of reaching out to clients or overcome that, a sort of lack of momentum that you had in making videos, making content?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, like I said, I was already, in motion to a certain degree with these things, but there's some things that really solidified it. I think partially, okay, the thing that keeps coming to mind is just sort of that concept of how important getting in motion is in and of itself. The concept sort of from the outwitting the devil module kind of thing, just like a weak plan with intent and power and conviction is so much more powerful than a strong plan, but you don't really know why you're doing it or don't have any conviction or motivation. So that was key for me, because it's just like letting go of all those projections of like how this is going to turn out. Is this right, wrong? It's like you actually don't know, but the motion will reveal the next step. So that's one thing that really somehow got infused just in.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So would you say that you sort of got out of your own way in terms of what your mind was saying, but more into faith of, it doesn't matter what happens, I'm going to do this?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because a lot of people struggle with that, actually. A lot of people who come into the program struggle with just moving on faith and really trusting. We actually talk about this a lot. The biggest thing why people get successful is because they actually trust the process. They're able to trust it. And even if the process doesn't work out quite the way they wanted it, there isn't that attachment of trying to manipulate a certain result, but more of the iteration, the mindset that, okay, if this process doesn't work, we're going to iterate and see what does.
Yeah, totally. And there's something about the program, the way it's laid out, that helped it just become more experiential, more real, and like making it start happening instead of just reading an inspirational thing that you're like, oh, I get, but you're not like, you're not
totally
making it part of your being. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. So would you say that there's like a bridge between the actual intellectual knowledge and getting it to experiential knowledge?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's well put. Definitely, this makes a good bridge to getting it into like a tangible, visceral, embodied sense. A
lot of people actually say that to me. They're like, oh, well, your program is actually based around taking tangible actions and getting results out of that, more than just doing some emotional clearing or doing a little. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's missing some part. It's not really making an internal shift, because of the lack of understanding that experiential knowledge is the ultimate.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. This program definitely has the holding you to the fire of some of those edges and having you expand the edges, like you got. So that's really cool. You know what I mean? Because it moves you down the road. Like
yeah, totally. So also I wanted to ask you, you mentioned that before you were reading like a lot of books and you were at a certain stage of your personal development, and also you were watching maybe videos as well. What was different in working with a coach, in being in the community of like-minded people with a small family, coming on the group calls?
Yeah. I think just putting it in the context of the reality mastery program just makes it more real. It makes it more, it hits you on more levels, so yeah, I think it just, it's hard to put into words, but I guess it just brings more parts of your being up to the plate, so to speak. You know what I mean? You're not, it engages you socially, it engages your mind. So instead of, yeah, I mean, that's really all. That's the best way to put it. It just puts your whole self on the line with what you believe in and what you're trying to become, instead of just sort of part of yourself, which can maybe read and be isolated and be excited by ideas, but you're not. There are other parts of you still clinging on to the old ways. You know what I mean?
Totally. So if I'm understanding correctly, you're saying about accountability, getting an increased dimension of accountability. If you are part of an actual process, if you actually have a team, a group of people to do it alongside. So have you interacted with the community, and what was it like? Just being in a part of this community.
Yeah, it's just cool to see come into the community with people on Facebook and see other people going through things and see other people going through similar things, and sort of how, when other people get helped, you're also getting helped, and vice versa. So yeah, it just adds another dimension, more richness and more reflections of your own path and everything like that, I would say.
Cool, cool, man. Yeah, another big question for you was, what was your most influential week module of the program, and why?
That's a good question. I have definitely week 2. I mean, to go into specifics with it, like the reality mastery guide
Okay,
was huge.
this
Just
the self mastery guide.
self mastery guide, yeah, that was huge, because it's just like, that's where I just got so much clarity about where I'm going, where I want to be going, and then putting it, just like this. I've never done that, but it's like putting all the pictures
Uh-huh.
and all this stuff. It just made it like fun and real, and just sort of, yeah, helped it become, again, less intellectual and more like a full on experiential thing. So that was really key, just as like a guiding light throughout the program.
So
Uh,
have you been doing that every morning, every
yeah,
night before bed?
yeah,
Cool, cool.
yeah,
Awesome, man. Yeah,
yeah.
no wonder you're getting such crazy results from it. How has it evolved for you, the level of clarity you're getting as you're going through with your coaching business, with your music? Tell us more about, some of the results you've gotten from the program too.
Well, I mean, throughout the program, I did get like my highest paying clients start coming in, like making offers for higher offers, and getting a bunch of them and that kind of thing. So that was awesome. And yeah, I feel like it's just about the flow, like just like an energy building in my life and around me, in the sense of like the content and having fun and just more confidence and just having so many more ideas open up. Like it used to
Hmm.
be like what am I gonna do today? But now it's like there's so much I feel like I could do, and it's almost like there's such an influx of energy and ideas, and
Hmm.
so even if it's not like all happening immediately right now today, all the whatever, it's just like there's just all this fun and excitement, and like trust that it's just like, if you stay in this place, that it's just seeing that like tipping point of putting yourself in motion and letting the energy come in. It's just been
Gotcha. So would you say that a big part that you took away from this program is, first of all, getting into motion, getting over this inertia, the procrastination, and also
yeah.
I understand that you said you got your highest paying client. Now, what gave you like the confidence to just start pitching higher prices? I'm interested to know that.
um yeah, I think it was just starting to have more confidence in what I have to offer, and have more confidence in, yeah, just like my presence and what I'm gonna bring to people's lives.
Hmm.
So it was really just yeah, a confidence, and also probably just seeing something about how it works, like when, like, yeah, just sort of a faith in the whole process, and the wisdom and of it of that I had to share. So it just made me feel comfortable, like asking for more, in a way, just like knowing that it would have a value, correlating value.
So, did getting clarity on your ideal self, who you needed to become to be able to charge those high prices, is that something that helped you out in being able to do that?
Yeah, yeah, I think it definitely did. I mean, I'm reflecting on it really for the first time now, but I mean, it did, because it just helps you have that inner authority and confidence when you make those offers and stuff, that you just feel good about it, and that comes across. Like, well,
Hmm.
people are also sensitive to energy, so when you say things from a fuller, more confident place, people can feel that, and so.
Totally, totally. So also like a big limitation we see with coaches is they charge, too little. So let me give an example. Eunice, she was charging absolute peanuts for her services, like $200 for 2 months of coaching,
Uh-huh.
right? And she started to rapidly increase the price because of that mindset shift. And people start to believe that, oh, why would anyone pay for coaching? You can get this for free.
Yeah.
So did you have some of that in the beginning when you were charging low prices for your services, and then you started to really see the worthiness of it? And what really made that shift for you? I'm intrigued to know.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I definitely did. I think, yeah, I think part of it for me was just feeling the like, it's almost like the reciprocal nature. I don't know if that's the right word, but meaning like as I went through the program and was getting my own benefit from it and from really showing up and doing the work and solidifying my own ideas about coaching and self-development, seeing that when you really show up on a high level, which sometimes comes with it, when you pay and you're paying more attention, so to speak, then trusting that you want to also deliver that transformation to your clients. And so having, it's like as I get my own benefit, then I trust
Mm-hmm.
more I'm able to share that, you know what I mean, that this is sort of in a way how it works.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying it amazingly, but you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
totally. No, it's an interesting point you brought up. A lot of people say that. We had someone else message me like, yeah, when you pay, you really pay attention. When you make an investment, you're actually energetically committing to yourself. And
Right.
when you start to, pay and start affording programs, start paying high prices for programs, then you get comfortable charging those prices to your
Right.
clients too, because you understand the value of it's like no one will ever, no matter how much you say it, no one will ever value something that's free as much as something that they actually use their hard-earned money for.
Right. Totally. I think that's true. And I also think I think it's just sort of, I feel like there's like a time frame, like if humans are really starting to transform and really go for it, it doesn't take like years and years, and it's not immediate, but there's like a time frame that's like weeks, more like weeks oriented time frame, I think, when people, and so, yeah, I'm not sure exactly where I'm going with it, but
No,
just,
totally, totally, I get you. Um, yeah, so what would you say was the biggest result you got out of the program?
um, biggest result, I think, yeah, just focus and clarity on, and like just really starting to step into the next level of like where I wanted to be as a person was the main thing.
Like looking at yourself before the program, that version of yourself before the program, and sort of looking at yourself now. What
Yeah,
what was that evolution like? Can you describe it in three different stages or two different stages even, before and after?
it's funny because like I don't know if I almost can't remember that well how I was then a little bit. Like I kind of can't totally remember my mind state, you know what I mean? Because like I've been so in this zone now. So I'm trying to think. I think I mean, okay, like, yeah. So anyway, I know that I was just more influenced by what other people thought. I was just more nervous about how I looked in other people's eyes was one thing. More just took me much longer to rise to the energy level to get in motion with whatever it is I'm trying to create, like
Mhm.
content stuff. And so things were just moving much slower. Just I would just say slower motion, and a little bit more painful emotion, because it's like a little more self-doubt and stuff, and negative thoughts along the way. So I think, yeah, and then getting into the course just like brought this just like flow of energy
Mhm.
and emotion, and um, yeah, just momentum and sort of a not looking back thing, like so much so I really can't totally remember.
The biggest difference I notice in you now is that before you weren't as grounded. Now you're much more grounded in what you're doing. You're much more certain. I can feel that sense of certainty. Like it's like a difference in energy, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And I'm sure that's reflecting in your work, in your ability to confidently charge the prices that you're actually worth for your program, in you moving with momentum without questioning every single move and doubting yourself, moving one step forward, one step back, but rather you're just taking one step forward, period.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
totally. Yeah, it's nice to hear that reflected, because that's for sure how I'm feeling. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah, and then one other thing is I like the social module was cool too. Just and it's like things again that I'm like knowing, but just really having it solidified. That thing was like, wow, yes. And I'm having like so much more fun in like social gatherings or like like International Coach Federation is the ICF like has all these like meetings around town and stuff, and it's so fun to go with them with in that mode because
Gotcha. The social dynamics module, week 5.
yeah, that was really cool. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, some people would say that it's kind of out of place with the program because it's like, oh, well, why are you teaching me how to, interact socially and conduct myself in a social manner? But I think that's one of the biggest parts. Like, this was something that was absolutely key for me. It doesn't matter who you are, you're going to be in a world of people, right? You're still going to have to interact with people and learn how to influence and really how to get your influence out there.
Yeah.
And if your intentions are pure, first of all, and then you come into this module, then you're just going to be a whole different beast.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you teach someone with a great program how to market themselves. And then they're like, well, this is great because I'm actually marketing something great.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. And also it wasn't like you said, it wasn't gimmicky stuff. It was just real deep stuff that has to do with your internal state and who you are anyway. So it was building on it naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So, yeah, I mean, what's life like right now that you've completed the program? What are your plans for the future? What's it looking like? How's it evolving for you?
Yeah, like I said, I'm sort of trying to balance like just thinking like trying to consolidate like my niche and think about that as far as a coach. I'm also wondering if I'm going to start this full-time position as a coach at internal at this Capital One bank I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
And then also music because it's like to be honest I'd say like right now the snapshot of right now is like tons of excitement but still like a lot of possibility, so wondering what will happen but not with too much worry, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of good cool options right now.
Gotcha.
And I feel like in the next like few weeks I'm gonna probably start to really laser focus on a couple.
Okay. Cool. So, yeah, it sounds like you have like an abundance of opportunities right now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just choosing which one will be the best next step for you. How would you find that, by the way? How would you know which one's the next best step for you? I mean, it doesn't have to be one. It could be a combination of things, right?
Yeah, I think a combination. I mean, I think in a way, I almost like them all so much that it's almost going to be more like what starts flowing and what starts opening up. Uh, but I don't know. Like I mean, going through the other thing is going to help me think about like my niche and stuff a little bit more detailed.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, that is a good question because I'm just like staying open. They all, yeah. Like from visioning, like sometimes the full-time job didn't seem like what I would be doing in the end at
Mm-hmm.
but it might be a really good step for me because
Okay.
it is right down the middle of the alley of what I love and I'm interested in, which is real coaching, and
Mm-hmm.
so it could be a great step. And yeah, so I don't know. I'm just flowing, and I'll try and just listen to what's like resonating, and makes me feel alive and most connected. But I also like want to start making like more money. You know what I mean? So like the full time job also is appealing from that point of view, and can like help fuel building projects that I'm passionate about also.
Totally. Totally. So it seems like even though you aren't uncertain, you're not worried. You sort of approach it with a sense of calm.
Yeah, exactly. Every time I
That's
get
cool.
worried, I'm just like, I realize it's just ridiculous because I'm in a good place and everything's exciting.
That's awesome. Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of people really struggle with that. They're constantly in that fear mindset of what I don't have, what's going to go wrong, rather
right.
than focusing on what is working, what is going well and what will go well.
Yeah, totally,
Would
totally.
you say that's something big you took away from the program?
Yeah, that's not just like the reducing importance thing, man. Like, okay, well, I mean, I don't even know why I'm leaving this out, but like, I mean, I would say like, it's based on some of those things, like almost some like full on just like awakening style experiences, like at night meditating, like after I've like let go of all the importance, where I'm just like laughing, like in my head and like literally laughing because I'm just like see the tricks of like the mind so clearly, and I'm just like this is hilarious and awesome, there's like freeing feelings and stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so stuff like that, that's really cool. And so key to that was sort of the letting go of importance, and seeing how just watching your mind more closely and how it tries to basically kind of corrupt everything with its
Hmm.
talk.
Its own ideas.
Yeah.
Totally, man. So what would you say was your biggest takeaway from the program?
Um, Biggest takeaway, I'd say, yeah, biggest takeaway was just get in motion, like start like identifying all the positives and things that are going right, let go of negativity, negative self-talk, and getting too attached to your way of doing things, and really just that balance between intentionality, like this is what I want to go for it, and then let go and surrender and see what's coming in, and just like
Hmm.
have that full
Effort and surrender, right?
yeah.
That's key. A lot of people don't understand because that's like an internal balance. It's different for everyone. You can't really dictate that in a book, but it's just a way of guiding you into it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a really, really key thing. I'm just working those two poles, because, yeah, for me in the past, I used to be like just a workaholic style. That was
Mm.
young, like, because I made things happen and but then I shut everything out, and then, and it ended up tripping me up. So for my next level, learning that balance was really key. It was really,
That's super important too. Because how well was it going for you when you were just a workaholic versus now when you're actually taking smart action and you're fully aligned? When are you getting better results?
yeah, for sure now, and also I can feel this is a like building a more of a longevity thing, meaning like this is something I could picture myself doing for years and years and years
Mm.
and years and letting it unfold. Whereas when I was the workaholic mode, it was like this little thing I wanted, and it was very tenuous and
Just get it
stressful.
out of the way now. Come on, just do it now. You'll get a result from it now.
Yeah, yeah, totally. So there was no stability in that, and this has a flexibility and power and all that stuff. Like the power versus force. I like that little distinction too. It's cool.
Awesome, man. I love
Yeah.
to hear it. So, yeah, just to conclude, would you recommend this program or who would you recommend it to? Will be a better question.
Yeah, I would recommend this program to anyone who is looking to get to the next stage in their life and looking to, move like powerfully into starting to build the life they want, attain the goals they want, if they're internal goals or manifestation goals in the world. Yeah, just to really like get clear and grow internally so they can support the life they want, sustain the life that they want.
Mm.
So it's just a great program to just get your internal state ready for what you need and start attracting what you need and all that. Um,
Awesome, man.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for this and for
This
these
was good.
valuable insights on what your program looks like and how the students actually feel after the program, during the program, and what the experience is like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess we'll
Yeah.
end it here.
Okay, totally, man. Thanks so